First one says, a store sold 60 gallons of milk today, and 2/3 of today's sales were for low-fat milk. How many gallons of low-fat milk were sold today? So we're given two pieces of information. The first piece is we know how many total gallons of milk we sold today, 60 gallons. And then we're also told that 2/3 of the milk sold today was for low fat. All right, so the key word that you look for, many cases, not always, but when you're looking for multiplication in a word problem, a lot of times the word of is going to be your keyword. So here we say 2/3 of today's sales. The word of today's sales implies multiplication. Sometimes the problem might use the word multiply in there, but in many cases the word of tells you what you need to do, and that's what I want you to key on. But anyway, in terms of logic, you know how many gallons were sold today. 2/3 of today's sales was for low fat. So clearly we want to multiply these two things together to figure out the answer. So you have 60 gallons of milk that we sold today, but only 2/3 of them were actually low fat. So 2/3 of the 60 gallons, the of basically implies that you're multiplying. Now we have figured that out, so what we do now is the same as before. We represent the whole number by the number divided by 1. We're still multiplying by 2/3. Now in all the previous problems, I've written it out for you, 60 times 2 up here and 1 times 3 over here. But I think now you know when we multiply fractions, we multiply the tops, we multiply the bottoms. So I'm going to just write that down. 60 times 2 is 120, and on the bottom 1 times 3 gives me 3. So I think I'm going to circle that, but then I look and I see, can I simplify it? Well, the first thing I know is that 120 divided by 3 is going to be basically 40. And the reason I know it's 40 is because if you cover up the 0 here, it's just 12 over 3. 12 over 3 is 4. So when you put the 0 back in, you're going to get 40. So 40 gallons. So today, whenever we sold 60 gallons of milk, but 2/3 were low fat, 40 gallons of today's sales were low fat because that is 2/3 of the 60 that we started with. All right, that's basically how that works. The second question says, Jason, that's me, has an 8-ounce glass of water, and I drink 2/3 of this glass. How many ounces did I drink? Right, so it's the same kind of thing. I have an 8-ounce glass of water, but I drink 2/3 of, the key word of, 2/3 of this glass. That means multiplication. How many ounces did I drink? So it's the same kind of thing. I want to translate it to math. I know that I have an 8-ounce glass of water and I drink 2/3 of it. That means I multiply. So the 8 becomes 8 over 1, and I'm multiplying by 2/3. All right, and then to do the actual math, 8 times 2 gives me 16. We multiply the tops. 1 times 3 gives me 3. We multiply the bottoms. And then I try to simplify this, and I say, can I simplify it? Well, I can't divide top and bottom by anything. It is improper, so let's go ahead and switch it over to a mixed number. How many times will 3 go into 16? Well, I know that 3 times 5 is 15. So it goes 5 whole times. The difference between 16 and 15 is 1, so the remainder is 1, and I just write it over 3. So that means that if I have an 8-ounce glass of water and I drink 2/3 of it, 2/3 is more than half, so it makes sense that I drank about 5 1/3 ounces because that's more than half of the glass of water. Half of it would be 4 ounces. So you got to kind of look and see that what you're doing makes sense. If I drink 2/3 of an 8-ounce glass, it makes sense that it's about 5 1/3 ounces because that's a little bit more than half. All right. Now in the third problem is kind of neat because it says the price of shoes is $30. You go into a shoe store, you see the shoes are $30. The sale price for the shoes is 1/3 less. When something's on sale, the price is less than full price, right? 1/3 less in this case. How much do you save on this sale for the shoes? Well, it's the same kind of thing. The price is $30, but I'm saving 1/3 of the amount of the shoe. So I multiply these two things together to figure out what is 1/3 of 30. That's going to be how much money that I save. So the way I do that is I have $30 pair of shoes, but the amount that I'm saving on it is 1/3 of that price because it says right here, the sale price for the shoe is 1/3 less. All right. So I need to multiply the fraction times the 30 to figure out how much 1/3 of that price is. So the 30 becomes 30 over 1 times 1/3. And then I multiply the tops. 30 times 1 is 30. I multiply the bottoms. 1 times 3 is 3. And I try to simplify this. And I see that it's improper. 30 over 3. So if I do that division, how many times will 3 go into 30? It goes in even 10 times because 10 times 3 is 30. So I'm going to save $10 here. So if I go into a store and I see a $30 pair of shoes and the sale price is 1/3 less, I'm saving $10. So if I save $10, that's how much money I've saved. I'm going to put savings. Here's a bonus question. How much does the shoe actually cost when it's on sale? Well, it was $30. I'm saving $10, so it's actually $20 on sale. And that's how you figure out sale prices.